Hey, y'all, it's executive producer Sonia Cho Swanson. And guess what? New season, new rules. Fall restrictions are in effect September through October. That means grass can only be watered 3 days a week. And yes, it's the law. Don't miss a beat. Change your watering clock now. Trees and plants, they need less water, just a recommended 2 days a week with drip irrigation. Visit snwa.com to find your assigned watering days and tips to maintain a healthy landscape. SNWA is a not-for-profit water agency.
There's plenty of takes on our city that locals embrace because, well, honestly, we want them to be true, even when they're not. Vegas has the greatest hospitality in the world. Our food scene is unrivaled. We're good enough, we're smart enough, and doggone it, people like us. But today on CityCast Las Vegas, we're going to boldly let loose some unpopular opinions with locals Andrew Corrali of the Nevada Independent and performance artist Ernest Hemmings. So will we be fricasseeing the golden goose, or will we finally rip the Band-Aid off some uncomfortable truths? It's Thursday, September 25th. I'm Dayvid Figler, and here's what Las Vegas is talking about. Hey, before we jump in, it is day 2 of our fall membership campaign. So I'm inviting you to support this show by joining CityCast Las Vegas neighbors at membership.citycast.fm. You know, there's a lot of reasons to do it, and one of them is all the perks you get, like the in-person events, the shout-outs on the podcast, the weekly event email of all the cool things to do in Las Vegas, and ad-free listening. And speaking of perks, an extended cut of this very episode is going to be available to members only in an ad-free feed. That's 7 extra minutes of spicy hot takes on food and dining in our community, including some rather interesting conversations about restaurants we don't think per se live up to the hype. And if you do it right now, you could also get the Neighbors Make Las Vegas tote. It's a sturdy canvas bag, and what a great message. But really, you could just do it because you like us and you believe life in Las Vegas can and should be joyful. Sure, I get it. A big part of our job is holding our city accountable and having honest conversations about what Las Vegas gets wrong, but we're equally committed to celebrating what's truly great about life here, from our growing and thriving art scene to knowing the real side to our infamous city. And your membership, well, that's what keeps this daily conversation thriving so we could bring a little joy to all in Las Vegas. So for just $10 a month or $100 a year, you can join our neighborhood. Find out more at membership.citycast.fm. All right, gang, here we go. What is your number one honest take about Las Vegas that is gonna get our listeners all worked up right now?
Well, funny you should ask, David.
Yes, Andrew.
My overarching one is that the supposedly failed family Las Vegas of the 90s did not fail. And actually, I thought it was actually kind of fun and cool. Grand Adventures theme park at MGM was fun. Treasure Island Pirate Show was off the hook.
100% agree.
Yeah, Excalibur, goofy and fun. GameWorks, remember GameWorks on the Strip? That was super cool.
I loved my GameWorks card. I was so sad when that card became moot.
Yeah, Star Trek: The Experience.
So Star Trek was amazing, and I wish the Wet and Wild still existed on the Strip. That's the one thing that really burns me up. It's like it disappeared 2 years after I got here. I didn't get enough chances to enjoy it while I was here. It was amazing.
To imagine what it would be like to be on Der Stuka, right next to the Sahara Hotel, looking out on the Strip, and about to plummet to your, watery death every time, and then go do it again.
The times I peeled my swimsuit out of my crotch.
Well, imagine it in today's world, walking from the dispensary over to the Wet and Wild, getting your total groove on. You would be able to relax on the lazy river in true style.
So,
Exactly,
Andrew, you don't think that it failed so much as it maybe wasn't given a chance, or that it was just fine, but we just moved on because it wasn't the perfect fit or something?
Well, actually, I have even more sort of provocative telescoping of this unpopular opinion. So people act like the family-friendly Vegas pushed out the gambling and the vice and the grit, as though, suddenly being able to strap your kids into a roller coaster at New York, somehow sanitized Vegas out of its adult allure. And not at all. You could still gamble and drink and all that kind of stuff. But my argument is that it wasn't some, momentary generational folly trying to chase this family-friendly stuff. I say that it actually prepared us for the Vegas of today, which is our sort of current totalized pan-entertainment phase, where the diversity of distraction is amazing, right? You could watch pro sports in huge stadiums, attend these huge arena concerts, run through like immersive carnival experiences like Area 15, catch insane films and concerts at the Sphere, eat world-class fine dining. So for me, it was sort of like a training wheels phase for what the Vegas that we have now. And so it wasn't failed. I thought it was sort of like prescient and preparatory. So that's my unpopular opinion.
I love that one. How about you, Ernest? What's your first shot into this particular fodder of thought?
As far as my unpopular hot take, I mean, it's sort of in the same vein. For me, when I first came to Vegas, the thing that I loved about it was that I was kind of bought into this idea that nothing else existed like it on Earth. Because my first taste of it was when I came here in 1999 for the Pet Shop Boys at the Hard Rock Hotel, specifically for that on Halloween. And it was just a weekend.
There was Nevada Day.
There was so much that was conflated in that one weekend. It prompted every bit of my imagination into moving here. And I want every time someone comes here to experience that. And so my hot take is that the buskers on Fremont need to audition in order to gain those licensures. Because here's the thing, anyone can pay that $75 and get the piece of plastic and hang out there. But being half naked is not a skill set. And I am trying to impress strangers. So they need to bring it. I mean, just shoot me 5 minutes. If anything, City Hall could be collecting revenue on subscription streams to watch these auditions. They could just have it throughout the day. I pay $5 a month to tune in at any time and see something that's like the X Factor, but many steps down. I mean, I think that's more entertaining than anything else.
And also smells like urine.
Yeah. That would be one of the subscription levels.
So your hot take is busking is fine. It just needs to be stepped up multiple degrees.
Step it up.
Significantly. I'm here in Philadelphia right now. And the buskers here, I'm just like, oh my God, am I at the concert hall? Like it's like there's entire klezmer bands down in the subway. And, here I've got like someone in pasties just smiling like, come on, we got to step it up. Like, there needs to be some level setting because our town has to represent. That's my
Well, apologies to the giant gorilla who I know is a regular listener, but yeah, I mean, interesting hot take indeed. All right, I'm going to go with mine. That's going to get everyone riled up.
Rile me up.
Locals should be prohibited by law to gamble more than, let's say, 10 days out of the year. Gambling is not an activity that was meant to be done every day that you should have access to. The whole idea of Las Vegas is the getaway and how, we depend on gambling revenue to fuel the engine of all the other things that we do should be people who are just indulging for a little bit and then they go home with their headache or whatever, like, oh my God, I can't believe I blew so much money. But if you were exposed to it every single day and you became, habitualized into the concept of gambling, it is going to ruin lives. And we do not speak enough in our community about the social impact of gambling, let alone problem gambling. And so I think that you should get issued a punch card.
Maybe a Subway sandwich card. Yeah.
Yes, like a sandwich card. And, instead of the 11th sandwich being free, you just got to wait another year. And to that end, I think we should stop advertising to locals, that we should stop getting locals juiced up on it and put all the energy into getting the money out of the visitors and keeping the money for the locals.
What a noble-minded hot take that is. What a noble-minded unpopular opinion. I applaud your moral stature, David.
As our tourist numbers are dipping, but our revenue numbers are staying the same, as we didn't take those revenue hits during the COVID times that we thought we would have because of the loss of visitorship, that is all on the shoulders of the locals. And to not talk about the costs of locals literally, paying the bill through gambling is really reckless. And we need to do something about it. We need to do something about it. We don't just produce winners, contrary to the billboard campaigns.
I could hear you waving your finger.
Learning a new language opens the door to new friends, new cultures, maybe even a whole new life. So why not start that journey today? I'm CityCast CEO David Plotz, and I'm learning Spanish with Babbel. Babbel's conversation-based technique quickly teaches you useful words and phrases about the things you actually talk about in the real world. I've been practicing my Spanish with Babbel's AI conversation partner. I can choose my conversation topic and have a real-time dialogue. It's great at helping me think on my feet, and it's improving my pronunciation. Also, it's really easy to do anytime on my phone using Babbel's excellent mobile app. It's just one of the many fantastic Babbel tools for learning. Plus, Babbel has a real-time feedback, progress trackers, and handy visualizations, all of which make it really easy to stay motivated to learn. I want you to learn another language. So CityCast is teaming up with Babbel to gift you 55% off subscriptions, but only for our listeners at babbel.com/citycast. Get up to 55% off at babbel.com/citycast. Spelled BABBEL.com/citycast. Babbel.com/citycast. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and I'm a CityCast Las Vegas neighbor. I moved to Las Vegas in 2019, but the city has always felt like a second home thanks to family connections and frequent visits all my life. What finally brought me here was the writing community. I connected with and found people who were supportive, creative, and welcoming. That sealed the deal for me. Since moving, I've fallen for the hidden community off the Strip, the part you don't see as a tourist. CityCast Las Vegas helps me discover it. I read the newsletter every morning. Some days it's serious updates, other days it's fun, weird Vegas stuff. Either way, it always feels local and relevant. When I became a neighbor, I was first excited about the member events that are a resource for community building and creating new connections. But what keeps me here is the value and the sense that I'm supporting local voices that matter. For me, it was a no-brainer, because Vegas deserves this kind of local storytelling. When you become a CityCast Las Vegas neighbor, you're not just supporting local media, you're investing in your community. Join me at membership.citycast.fm.
Support from CityCast Las Vegas neighbors allows us not only to inform our community on important local issues, but to take delight in what's great about living here, because we live here. We walk it, we see it, we breathe it, and we love sharing that information with you. Like the great theater options as the new seasons launch. We'll do previews, reviews, and share our experiences. This is the kind of information you just don't get doom scrolling or watching the national media. So for $10 a month or $100 a year, you can join our neighborhood. Find more at membership.citycast.fm. All right. I am loving this. So let's actually break down some more unpopular takes by category, if you gentlemen will indulge me. Yeah. This one I'm going to call storyline/narrative. I mean, you kind of hit on that a little bit, Andrew, with your when Vegas was family friendly, etc. But what storyline or narrative that is regularly accepted as a truth in Las Vegas, that's 1,000% a giant wah-wah. Ernest, you know what I'm talking about here?
Yeah.
I mean, Vegas was better when the mob ran things, which we did a whole episode breaking down.
Right, yeah.
Well, my impression of Las Vegas was shattered when I moved here, because originally I came here from Cleveland, Ohio, and, in the Midwest, we all saw Las Vegas as this hedonistic, very sexy, pervy kind of place, like this amazing adult play center for the 20 to 30 crowd.
Yeah, and Caligula without all the murder.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh my gosh, these are my people. I'm gonna get on the bus and I'll see somebody in latex. You know what I mean? That's what I was expecting to see in this electric city. And then you get here, and it was just 2 inches away from puritanical. Like, it was just like, there's people protesting sexy billboards out here. It didn't make any sense.
I wish I could crawl into Ernest's mind and live in the version of Las Vegas that was in his brain.
Oh, that version of Las Vegas, there were tiki bars everywhere. Don Ho was constantly playing in a lounge somewhere. There were actual lounges in the imagination of Las Vegas. You picture lounges, like actual showrooms, where you go into the Sahara, and there's a showroom right there, and
everyone's in a ring-a-ding-ding mode, as opposed to what lounges kind of have become.
Yes, some retro cocktail
cover bands from the 2000s.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but those cover bands from the 2000s, they're doing covers in a Juan Esquivel style. That was the idea. Right?
The old Venus nightclub that lasted for like a month. Yeah.
But I would say that's the imagination that most people have when they're coming out here, and when you actually live here, because the Strip tries to play that up. Like, when you're staying at those hotels, they're like, live large here. It's going to be great. Just stay in our property for the rest of the time that you're here.
Just stay in your lane too. Live large, but if you cross,
and don't touch the water in the mini bar because it's $17.
Right, live large, but if you color outside the lines, we will arrest you.
We'll get you.
All right, how about you, Andrew?
And so I kind of want to flip this a little bit, so I'm kind of dodging the question, but there is actually a generally accepted narrative about Vegas that I want to get behind and amplify, and that is, I have to get on board with this narrative that the BS fees and the expense levels involved in visiting Las Vegas, and the add-ons and the price gouging is really stupid and short-sighted. And yeah, we need to get back to our gritty indie dive bar, cheap and sleazy version of Las Vegas. I miss the Vegas that was, if it existed, but like that was for working people, right? And yeah, to be sure, our reinvention as a multifaceted entertainment destination is great and necessary, but can't we just keep it a bit more affordable? Can't we have free parking? Can't we, have cheap drinks again? So I feel like, that's the narrative that I want to push in hope of changing some of our more unsavory pricing behaviors.
Yeah. And I'm just going to, for my pick, is going to be really quick. To all the journalists who come here and they're just fascinated with Las Vegas, the whole one storyline or the other, can you believe really interesting and smart things are happening in a place like Vegas? I hate that. Yeah. I hate that narrative. Right. And I also hate the narrative where it's like, well, bad things are happening and nowhere more, you got it, than Las Vegas. Right. So that's just, both those need to go away. All right. There's so much more I want to. Oh my God. We've unleashed all of us right now, and I don't want to stop on it.
Depopularizing entire Las Vegas.
Next category. Big built project. What sports or entertainment or construction or whatever gets way too much love here, and it shouldn't? Either one of you guys, jump in.
Well, I think, the Sphere is awesome. It's cool. It's whatever. And I've been to a couple shows there, and cool. But there's also this vaguely Brave New Worldy dystopian kind of thing going on, because it is so such a violently totalizing entertainment atmosphere there. And one thing about going to the Sphere is, like, being there entails actual labor. I mean, you got to find parking. You got to walk 17 miles through this J.G. Ballard urban hellscape. You got to go through the vertiginous lobby that doesn't seem constructed at human scale. You got to find your seat and sit next to people who are like disproportionately freaking out over everything all around you. And in some way, I feel like the Sphere experience is kind of as sort of an experiment on human like perceptual systems. It's almost like in some ways too big for like the human mind to handle all at once all the time, and you've heard stories about people being overwhelmed and then maybe having panic attacks and things like that. So
they actually have like a calm down room that they have to have because of the stimulation.
So it's really interesting, and I think that it says something about the limits of entertainment. Is there a building that a built project that you want to take on, David?
Well, no, but I do want to say that the whole downtown project, the Tony Hsieh as savior of Las Vegas narrative, which perseveres, and especially since the man passed away, and we don't like speaking ill of the dead, but it was never a good idea to allow one person to essentially lock up an entire area and not have people who had the know-how to make it work. But I think the unpopular opinion is that anyone can save us. Any one person with a lot of money can save us. I don't think Howard Hughes, we're about to spend $1 million plus of public funds to move a house that he never actually lived in, the Howard Hughes house, over to Boulder Highway to the Clark County Museum because it's so important. But will it talk about how bad everything that Howard Hughes did affects us now? The fact that he paved the way for the corporatization of the Strip, for the Strip to now be in the hands of so few people with so little diversity of concept or approach to the gambling environment. And
he never actually built anything. I mean,
he just bought everything.
Yeah,
right? He just bought everything.
Yeah. So it's not like, the whole visionary thing.
Look, Howard Hughes is storied and vaulted in our community. But I think you take a deep dive into, the actual consequences of his mentality, his capitalism mentality about the approach to our city, it doesn't come out as a net positive. So those are my hot takes about the big built projects.
Well, can I throw out that the A's stadium is a bad idea? Just the A's even being here, because this is
that's not an unpopular opinion. What's your take on Allegiant Stadium?
Really? You don't think that's
I think it's a very popular opinion that it sucks and it's a stupid idea. I think a lot of people are on board with that.
I thought I was on my own, because I'm just like, well, how are they getting all of this support for this stadium? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Well, they keep pointing. They're like, everyone said the Allegiant Stadium was a bad idea, and look, we've got the world's biggest Roomba right there, and people love it. But do they? Is it?
Well. Here's the thing. There's a difference between fall sports and summer sports in the desert. Like it seems like it's tolerable to be in a football stadium if you are a football fan, and you'll come from all over. I mean, there were a bunch of people on my flight coming back to Philadelphia that just went to a game there or whatever, all in their gear. It's tolerable right now, and it's tolerable to be outside in an outdoor venue, in the latter half of the year. But in the summer, I mean, you're just wishing for death out there. I tried to watch The Aviators a few times, and I'm just like, please kill me. I don't know what's wrong with these people.
I know, but I do love it. But it's where it's supposed to be in a lot of ways. All right, let's switch another category, because this is too fun. Southern Nevada has some really popular outdoor destinations. We probably don't talk about them enough. But are there any that absolutely deserve a 1-star Yelp review? I mean, what's your most unpopular opinion about the outdoors or nature around Las Vegas?
Red Rock National Conservation Area. It's not a conservation area. It's an urban park that is such a hassle to get to nowadays. And I will always low-key resent Summerlin for developing right to its doorstep. I'm all about Sloan Canyon. It's the backyard of suburban Henderson, but it's not overcrowded with trail running granola bros and juggalos hiking while playing ICP on their Bluetooth speakers. So boo, Red Rock National Conservation Area.
Wow. Okay. Ernest Hemmings. That's going to be tough to top.
Well, it's going to be tough for me, because I would give them all 1 star. I hate being outside. I cannot stand it. It doesn't make any sense to me. And especially out here in the desert. The desert is not like, here, humans, we want you to live here. It tries to eliminate you as soon as you touch foot outside of your air-conditioned vehicle. It definitely makes me want to die. I hate it. I cannot stand it.
The ultimate unpopular opinion. Nature sucks.
Nature does suck.
Okay, here's mine. Lake Mead, generally speaking and specifically speaking, absolutely sucks. I don't enjoy going out there. I get it. You want to be on the water somewhere. This is man-made. Yet messed up. I have not been to a beach, if you could even call any of the surrounding areas of the water a beach, without either me or my friends getting severe cuts on our feet from I don't even know what. And it's hot and it's still, and there's nothing that shades you. And, the only reason to go out to Lake Mead is to go on a boat and get drunk. And I'm going to tell you this, that creates its own set of hazards. So Lake Mead, do better. Do better.
But you might be able to find a body while you're out there. Good times.
And a body might just start bobbing up with a look on his face like, I didn't mean to cross you, boss.
I didn't know she was married.
Well, gents, I want to do this for a couple hours. I think it's time to just like let the Pandora's box get a little airing, breathe a little bit, because
exactly. Let the spirits out.
I don't know that we're critical enough. I think we all love the fact that our city is a hype mastering place, but sometimes, as my dear friend Flavor Flav likes to say, you don't believe the hype. And he is my dear friend. I'm just going to say that right now. I'm going to text him right after this episode to find out what he has to say. All right, Ernest Hemmings, Andrew Crawley, thank you so much for joining me here on CityCast Las Vegas.
Thank you so much. You have a good one.
Thank you. Super fun.
That's all for today here on CityCast Las Vegas. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell a friend? You could also rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our morning newsletter. Thank you to all our new members like Joseph C. and Bernadette A., Christina S., Karen V., and Troy W. Welcome one and all to the neighborhood, and keep an eye out for that tote in the mail soon. And you too can support this show and get those great perks like extended episodes by becoming a CityCast Las Vegas neighbor at membership.citycast.fm. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Till then, stay lucky.